Almost exactly a year ago, I taped one of our unbelievable segments where Ann-Eve and I look at some of the more jaw-dropping educational stories we come across. This was about a new education data collecting effort called inBloom. Here's a clip from that year-old segment. A nonprofit called inBloom, Inc. What they're doing is they've got 7 to 9 states in the country sharing with them intimate student data. And I'll tell you what that data is in a minute, that goes to private education companies. As someone who taught for 30 years, I've always considered the sometimes very intimate and revealing information schools collect on their students to be a sacred trust. That information should be seen by the school staff and only for the benefit of the students. It should never leave the school without parental consent, ever. Yet along comes inBloom, which planned to collect all the information schools would give it: names, addresses, grades, test scores, attendance records, disciplinary records, medical records, you name it, and store it on some computers run by Amazon, where it would be made available to for-profit education companies. Not surprisingly, this wrong-headed and dangerous scheme didn't come from educators. inBloom was funded by $100 million from a grant from Bill Gates, and it was managed by the education wing of Rupert Murdoch's News Corp. That's right, Bill Gates, a man who made billions on computer software, funding a big data plan that would be guarded over by Rupert Murdoch, who owns the Fox News empire, and whose British papers tapped the phones of celebrities and royalty to gather private information for the purpose of selling more newspaper. It's hard to think of two people I would trust less with detailed information about our country's youth. Here's the good news. inBloom is no more. It had talked 5 states into signing up for the huge data dump, and it looked like it was picking up steam in other states. Then along came some activists in the progressive education movement. They got wind of the scheme and they alerted others, progressive teachers, parents, educational scholars, and soon people on the right joined in as well. Enough people complained loudly and persuasively enough that states took a step back and looked more carefully in the program, and one by one they pulled out. The last to leave was New York State. When that happened, inBloom closed its doors. Well, this is really a cause for celebration. It's a win for the right of students to have information schools collect about them remain in the schools, not in the hands of for-profit education corporations, or for that matter, in the hands of hackers who might figure out how to break into the database in Amazon, just like they've broken into Target store databases and credit card databases and all kinds of supposedly secure databases. And these hackers download intimate and valuable information about students and their families. That would be terrible. But remember, the victory doesn't mean we don't have to remain vigilant. The billionaires who fund the educational reform movement are certain to try again. Bill Gates, the Walmart family that owns, the Walton family that owns Walmart, lots of wealthy hedge fund traders, the list goes on and on. They're likely to try again. And don't forget all those education technology companies hoping to make a killing selling software and hardware to schools. They know there's lots of money to be made out there, billions of dollars. And the path to those billions of dollars will be smoother if they have access to students' private information. I don't think we're going to be hearing from inBloom again, but son of inBloom, another company with a different name and a different big data pitch, those companies are already out there trying to figure out how they can succeed where inBloom failed.